join others. All this as the president pulls back from another round of strikes on Iran. He called them off yesterday afternoon after saying once again that a deal was at hand.
A very strong memorandum of understanding. That is a little conceptual, but it's something that's going to get done. And if it doesn't get done for any reason, which I can't imagine that not happening, they want to sign it as much as I do or more. I would say they want to sign it more, maybe a lot more. But it's a very detailed memorandum of understanding, also agreed to by many other countries that have great influence over them, and everybody wants it done.
Now, Republican Senator Kevin Cramer, member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, with us here in studio, and good day to you, Senator. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Just looking at a number, apparently state media in Iran is reporting on 14 different points that they want, and if you go through them, this is thick stuff and it's difficult stuff. Where do you think we are?
Well, one of the biggest things, I think, in all of this, the thing that concerns me as much as anything, is the money piece of it. I think the maximum pressure campaign that involves sanctions, for example, that involves holding cash back, is probably at this point as devastating to the regime as the ability to bomb them at any point in any place. So I hope that we're not going to give up too much, but I will say this: every time I've thought or I've questioned Donald Trump's instincts, I find out later that I was wrong. And I appreciate his optimism, but I remain a little bit skeptical about the ability to endure through this.
Meantime, you have Democrats continuing to seize on this war and what it's doing to the economy and use it for, messaging. Listen to what Schumer said.
For months, Democrats have urged Republicans to support our war powers resolution to end this war for real. And for months, Republicans have failed to do so. Americans have made it clear they don't want this war. They don't want the high costs, gasoline and fertilizer and everything else that come with it. And Trump has made it clear he's incapable of cleaning up this mess.
Complicating factor, you have, while Democrats are saying all this, reporting that this agreement that's coming together would apply to Israel and Lebanon, and then Netanyahu's office saying that they are not party to this memorandum of understanding. So is there a chance that this drags on and the Democrats keep using it?
Well, they will. I mean, the Democrats will use anything they can for any type of political leverage they can get, including cheerleading against the United States of America, which is one of the most repulsive things about Chuck Schumer's leadership in the United States Senate, quite honestly. And I think they ought to get over it. The reality is, what they never say is that Iran's good or that we should trust Iran. They tried that for years, and Joe Biden tried it. Obviously, Barack Obama tried it. It didn't work then. And finally, we have a president that puts America first and the safety of Americans, and furthermore, is in the process of all of this bringing more Arab nations along. That's the other piece of this, the complicating factor, that he seems to be able to navigate that others didn't even try.
So in the meantime, we're riding on the edge right now with this FISA surveillance tool, 702. It has not been approved. Wall Street Journal says Democrats blame President Trump, but they did it to spite him, and the real loser is American security. What is the fate of this tool right now?
Well, I believe that the president made a very strong choice yesterday in choosing Jay Clayton to be the next DNI. And remember, Democrats were using, again, as an excuse, the temporary appointment or stewardship, really, of DNI by Bill Pulte. I thought it was a peculiar choice, but it wasn't a permanent choice. It was no reason to put the United States of America and Americans at risk by letting the lapse of 702, of FISA 702 authority. So again, they've seized on a moment.
What brings it back?
I do think that the nomination of Clayton brings it back to some degree. There's going to be a hearing on his confirmation already within days. And I think we've removed that excuse, if you will, from Democrats to oppose it. They want to be for it.
But have you received any assurances that what FISA does can be retained after it goes dark at midnight? I mean, is there an executive order or some kind of a legal provision that will sort of bridge the gap between now and when the Senate comes back? Because why on earth is leadership comfortable sending people home for the weekend?
Yeah, no, it's a very important point, Jackie. The reality is that they'll maintain some of their authorities. How they exercise them, though, is the bigger problem. The reality is that once this lapses, then of course they don't have all the guardrails that they've had before, but they do have a different culture. When I say they, I'm talking about the agencies themselves, particularly the FBI and what they do with data that's collected, particularly on Americans. The irony of it is that the deal that has been brokered between the Republicans and Democrats in the Senate actually provides more guidelines, provides more assurances, provides more, rights for Americans, and so everything that they've wanted, everything that most of us have wanted, is in that deal. The only factor was Bill Pulte, and that factor is now, I think, set on the sideline and should.
Okay, we'll wait for that hearing very soon. Senator, appreciate you coming in. Okay,
Thanks, Senator. Good to
Kevin
see you.
Cramer, thank you.